Wassail beautiful people, wassail. So I began this morning a Rob's birthday bash, Rob Odinson. And during the course of the conversation, the subject of singing came up, and a discussion was made about how people said they couldn't sing, they had no musical inclination, no voice, and I mentioned that everybody has sound because we're all frequency. And so I agreed. Hello, a chorister. Wassail Madeline. See, I said it. Wassail Madeline. I've said it again. Wassail Madeline Gray, just to make sure you know it's you. Wassail Amy. Wassail Suze. Cheers. Wassail Chrissy in Canada. I'm going to be in Canada soon, Chrissy. Just keep that energy flowing to pull me into Canada. So, yes, today, everybody, Wassail Jeanette, Wassail Karuna, I agreed that I would take you all through how to find your voice vocally. Because obviously before I did tarot reading, I used to teach pop stars to use their voices in the UK and abroad. And so that was my job until I got bored. Wow, you got your voice back. Well, we're going to get everybody's voice back, even if they've never had it before. And yeah, lots of smoking around. It's not the best thing, but by the time we get to doing some exercises, we will all be good with this. So I'm going to take you through what would have always been with any of the celebrities that I taught. What would be the first lesson that we would go through, if I can remember it. It's been a long time. To help them understand their voice. Now, when people say they can't sing, partly that's often because throughout life, children are always, we always tell children to be quiet. When children resonate with pure joy and they scream with delight, and we're told to kind of dampen that down. Now, one of the other problems is that when we start to sing, our natural speech patterns and our accents can either help or hinder how we create sound. Because when we sing, you can't sustain any consonants. You can only sustain vowels. And so vowels are like the washing line of melody. And on that washing line, you have to peg consonants. And then as you peg the consonants in, they mustn't break the vowel line. They have to keep the energy pure so that you can sustain the vowels as you sing. Have I ever been a smoker? Not cigarettes, no, naughty things. But, you know, that was very much part of the industry I worked in. So we're going to look at how different sounds fit different parts of the body. So a really clever singer understands that a melody has a choreography that moves through the body. And that's part of what I used to teach people to do, was to identify where a note in their song resonated, where it was difficult, and how to stretch your sound so that it maintains its balance in its natural home. So, for instance, let's just begin with the notion that if you play a guitar, when you pluck the string on the guitar, it's a very quiet sound. It's the box on the guitar that is the resonator that amplifies the sound. Now, for singers, we have the lungs. And we can use the lungs as our woofer speakers. the majority of the sound, the strings, are in the throat on the vocal cords. So that's where we make the sound. It's how we deliver the sound to other areas. Now, a lot of people, I'm just going to turn sideways for this, a lot of people do this with their neck. When you do this, you're putting pressure here. Do you see these two muscles? And if that happens, no sound will go down into your woofer speakers. And this is true of speech. When I speak to you at the moment, I'm resonating in my chest frequency, because when a sound resonates in the chest, it means you're resonating with your heart. And this makes your voice more not acceptable, but it makes people more enticed to listen because the message comes from your heart and seems true. If I was to talk all the time and not let the chest register in and just deliver everything from this area, then suddenly no one really wants to hear, because it just keeps going on and on and on. And if you talk really up here in the nasal areas, then you just sound like you're not involved with your voice even remotely. And some people keep their voices really high in their heads, and then that stops all that resonation of any part of the body. So I just need to look at this because I don't usually, but Reem and I are doing a joint reading tomorrow later. I can't play it to you all live now. So Reem, I'm just live at the moment, so I can't listen to your message because I don't want everyone else to hear it. So, resonators. How do we find our resonators? Yeah, he really does. Sorry, Oasis. No, he doesn't. He pushes totally from his throat, Danielle. I've studied his microphone technique. He often has a mic hanging and he leans his neck forwards. It may come from a sense of pain in his soul, but he's actually hurting his vocal cords or his resonators along here. He's much more likely to get nodules. If you want to hear someone who understands how to totally use their entire body, you have to listen to some of the great soul singers, because often they sang in churches where they were pushing the energy to the back of the congregation and they wanted to fill the world with the love of their God. And so quite often those sort of people like Aretha Franklin, or if you take Ella Fitzgerald, is a classic for understanding, because Ella Fitzgerald, when she talks, has got a really strange voice, and yet when she sings, she's got so much of a range. And we can all learn range, honestly. I've taught people who were beautiful starlets, but they didn't really have much of a voice, and I could stretch their voices to 3 octaves. So what we're going to look at is the different parts of the body that resonate and how to link up to them. So to begin with, we're just going to do humming. So we're going to look at, now you know from my channel if you watch, I always talk about F sharp and F are the heart chakra, the lower heart and the higher heart. And that's because whenever we resonate in F, it's really easy to get the F frequency into our bodies, or the F sharp. We're going to begin with an F sharp. And I just think that what I want you to do is to kind of just, you take your mouth, your teeth mustn't touch. So you're putting your lips together to hum, but you're dropping your jaw down, because the inside of the back of your mouth, there's a dome at the back here. And this dome needs to be really open. So the first thing we do, if you imagine, I'll do it that way. If you imagine that this is my teeth at the bottom of my jaw, the base of my jaw, and then this is the throat going down, you need your tongue to touch your lower teeth. And then I want you to imagine suddenly going, as if you're about to yawn, and pulling all of your tongue down inside the base of your mouth. Okay? Yeah, Cosmic Moon Collective, it's totally that. The other thing to say is that men, their voices break in puberty, women's don't. So women often learn to keep their childhood voice with them because it's less threatening to men. Men don't like women with women's voices. Men often like women who've got their little girls' voices because, as you say, it's less threatening. And the number of times when I've been teaching, you know, little tiny pretty starlets who their career is made out of their sexual coquettish behavior, when they first open their voice to its full woman's energy, they run across the room and then they turn around and say, that wasn't me, that wasn't me. It's an energy of being frightened by your own power because it's immense, you know. Go and listen to some fado singers or some Spanish traditional singers and you'll hear proper raw power. The only problem is that most of the songs they're singing are suicidal, so they're not really the most, you know, enjoyable, but they do have that full raw woman's power in the voices. So tongue, and we're going to pretend we're yawning and just go. Just practice just swallowing your tongue down, but don't let your tongue disconnect from your lower teeth. And the other thing I'm going to tell you is, don't, ow, I just ran my toe over. Don't stick your neck forwards. If anything, drop your chin onto your chest. And just try and make a few, oh, now the chair's got stuck. And just try and make a few sounds with your chin down. Put your hand on your chest. Can you feel your chest vibrate? Let's do it on this note. Keep your tongue on your lower teeth and swallow the tongue down backwards. It doesn't matter, Amy, it doesn't matter how awful you think you sound, even with a cold, it's great to do these sounds because in many ways it'll waken up and push the sound and the energy around the blockages to make frequency move and shift. Let's go down to F. Let's get it really low. Can you feel, Wassail, Penelope, can you feel your chest? Wassail, Jennifer, can you feel your chest vibrating? See the difference between me going trapped here at the bottom of the neck with these muscles, pulling it back. Cool, Amy. Of course your dog's wondering that. Do you know, when I do sound healings, dogs go mental. They try and get inside my mouth. But their ears spring up when they hear all the harmonics, and then they're like, ah, and they try and climb inside. And I'm like, no French kissing dogs, thank you. You've been eating dirty meat. So what I want you to now do is, listen, your tongue will misbehave beyond imagination because the tongue wants to get involved in a way that it's, your teeth will reverberate, everything shakes, bones will start shaking. We've only just begun. We've only just begun to sing. So we're going to do this as a sustained sound now. Now, when you breathe in, you need to use your chest. So I guess if I put this down here, your chest has to stay still. Your stomach, which is a vacuum, when you push your stomach forwards, it pulls down the diaphragm. You have no other way of operating the diaphragm. Many singing teachers will say, use your diaphragm. You operate your diaphragm with your stomach muscles. So to breathe in, keep your chest still. Keep one hand on your chest, one on your stomach. And then we're going to take a breath in from here. Okay. And again, breathing in. And once more. So, sorry, Penelope, it's not a reading. I would say there's no cards, but there are a couple of cards. But we're learning to find our voice. We were in Rob's reading this morning, and the subject came up, and I said, everyone can learn to sing. And so someone said, prove it. So here we go, we're proving it. I used to, so the people that have joined now, I used to teach UK and overseas celebrities to sing in the pop industry. So I used to teach them how to find the voice that they didn't have, even though they looked great in a dress and could sell perfume. And I also, I used to do lectures and workshops in finding your voice. I should probably link in one of the things that might have some explanation, but I wrote it so long ago. I'll try and remember that. So I teach people how to find their voice, but it's particularly beneficial to women because women's voices don't break. So you don't have to learn a new voice as you get older. Whereas boys, their voices break and they immediately, there's this sense that you get to explore how you want your voice to be. And voices change over time. My voice used to be much higher, and it used to confuse all of my professors at the Royal College of Music because I spoke in a much higher kind of voice because I was still a teenager. And so I was a tenor, but I couldn't sing the super high notes that Italian tenors sing. And some teachers would say I was a baritone. Now, the difference between a baritone and a tenor is just where you resonate the sound. So tenors sing all up there. They do that kind of high using head voice. Baritones would put more back of the throat in and chest. But the type of voice that I actually had is called a Helden tenor, which means I'm the kind of voice that's so loud that when you sing Wagner, even a 90-piece orchestra can't stop your voice from getting over. So I had a very rare voice, but I didn't want to do it. I just didn't want to sing in opera because I love classical music, but they're boring. So I went off and I taught pop stars to sing, and that was much more fun. So we've breathed. Now we're going to do some sound, the F sharp in our chest. So remember, we're not singing like this. We're putting our chin down on the top of our chest. Oh, no, hang on. I need to show you the other part of breathing. Penny, you're sidetracking me. Because I'm not easily sidetracked, ever. So back to the breathing, everyone. So the second part of breathing is to lift the chest. So, hang on, I have to do that. So, hang on, there we go. So the first part of breathing is the stomach. Let's go back to that. And again, just the stomach, no chest, because that's shallow dog breathing. Well, it's not dog breathing. Right, check stomach out again, please, people. Once more. Now, the second part of breathing is to lift your chest. Now, I just want to say, if you're not sitting down at the moment, please sit down because you're about to take in twice as much oxygen as you've ever experienced, and it's going to cause you to kind of get a bit dizzy. I'm sorry, but it does. I've had people pass out and I've had to catch them before. So just a little bit of a warning. We're going to push the stomach out first. So the first part of the breathing, out for 3. And now the chest goes up. Now, as the chest goes up, you will notice that the stomach looked as though it went back in. It didn't. It was because your rib cage lifted, it pulled that bit up. So, does that make sense, the second part? And then we'll do an exercise. Yeah, pull up your big girl pants and let's get the woman out. Okay, so stomach out, chest up. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then collapse them both down together. Okay, so here we go. 2, 3 now, chest, and then collapse together. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Okay, and again, let's do 4, 5, 6. Once more, out, 2, 3, chest, 2, 3, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I should have said in. It's been a long time. I might get the words the wrong way around. So that's the exercise to start with for breath. It's so that you get used to just going really quickly. So you pull in the same amount of breath, but over maybe 2 seconds. So I have to do so much deep stomach breathing here up this mountain. The oxygen is so thin that when I just pulled my stomach out, I'd literally already pulled in all the possible oxygen. I still had to lift my chest up. So it is a lot like yoga and Pilates. The only difference is that quite often yoga teachers talk about this gripping energy, and we don't do that when singing. You have to keep fluidity. It is very similar. So remember, we've got to keep going over so many things to remember. This is your teeth. This is your jaw. This is your neck. Your tongue makes connection with your lower teeth. And then you have to swallow it back and drop your tongue as far down your neck as possible, as if you're going to yawn. So we take a breath. I'm fighting the urge to move my tongue and make harmonic sounds. So you have to take the belly breath, push out, lift your chest, so belly out, chest up, tongue right back. Don't stick your neck forwards, get your chin on your chest. So together, ready? I can't stop doing the harmonics, I'm so sorry. Wassail Perry, Wassail Randy, I've probably missed loads of other people. Wassail Deirdre, Wassail Stella. So, yeah, I mean, it is something that's done in yoga. I live my entire life breathing like this. So I don't really get altitude sickness or anything, because it's just, my teenage years, from the age of 11, I played the oboe. And what's very interesting about when you play the oboe compared to playing something like a flute or a trumpet, flutes and trumpets, you take in a deep breath and then you blow. You control your breath, but you use your whole breath. The oboe has such a tiny aperture between its double reed that you don't use very much breath. So you take a deep breath, you play the tune on the oboe, and when your oxygen becomes stale and your lungs fill up with carbon dioxide, you have to both release all of that carbon dioxide and breathe in again really, really rapidly so that you can carry on playing. So the speed with which the strength of your muscles begins to get used is quite considerable. And of course, with vibrato, that's all done down here with the solar plexus. So, you know, I've got great control over my belly. So let's go back to doing those sounds. Okay. Deep breath, everyone. Stomach, chest, chin down. Ready? 4, 5, 6. Can you feel your chest vibrate, people? If you can't, put your hand up. If you can't feel your chest vibrate when you sing that note, put your hand up. Put your hand up. See, look, it looks like you all can. So, that's your woofer speakers, okay? Now, the next place we need to look is the throat itself. So the throat is a G sharp. So we've done F sharp, and we're going to go to a G sharp. So I'm going to do it for you, and I just want you to listen the first time before joining in, because I want you to try and see if you can sense the change in the position of the resonating space that I'm singing in, okay? So I'm going to move from an F sharp to a G sharp. So suddenly the chest vibrates a little bit because I can't stop that, but the sound should lift. So if we all do this together, I'm going to bring that back up. Now that we're not all looking at my belly side on. Yeah, don't move your tongue at all, people. You've got to keep your tongue in the yawn. It's not like going, it's not that. It's literally just keep everything about yourself stays still. The only thing that moves is where you resonate. Look, the tongue is really tricky. It's going to get even harder in a minute when we start doing the tongue exercises. And then we're going to do the lip exercises. But first of all, we need the resonators. So, 1, 2, 3. I can usually do that 4 times. There's no oxygen in this world here, up this mountain. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. I thought that there's not enough oxygen for me to do the third note, so we're just going to go up and down for the moment. So, can you feel it move? Can you feel the resonation of your voice move? Do you know, Amy, I want to say something really interesting because smoking does do certain things to your voice. It affects the quality, the tone, but it doesn't have to. And one of the things which for years they've always talked about was how smoking damages your lungs permanently. And I read an article in the first lockdown that said, actually, the truth is your lungs heal themselves. So don't think about what smoking may or may not have done to your frequency. If you no longer smoke and you want to have a beautifully clear, wonderful voice, that's the energy that you have to have, and your body, your consciousness, your higher self will provide the healing to allow your voice to come out. It doesn't matter, Twitty, if you're a smoker. Enjoy smoking. You know, it's the punishment, the guilt that we place on things that causes damage. If you enjoy it, enjoy it. That's all I want to say. But don't give yourself guilt about anything. So, and some of the most wonderful pop singers are the heaviest smokers. And it's added a gravel and a gravitas and a quality to their voice that, you know, some little boy chorister singing in the purity of prepubescent voice, they can't ever have. That's, you know, it's something that's not necessary in that world. So you can all feel it move. So now the next one we have to do is activate the eyes, the nose, and the areas around the skull and ears. This is the third eye, and it's A. So now we're going to add another note. So if I can breathe long enough and get enough oxygen in from this thin mountainous air, I will do the 3 notes and then we'll do them together. So just have a listen first. So I'm going to go chest, throat, third eye, throat, chest. It's just not enough oxygen. So, just everyone together, those 3 notes. So we're going to breathe in. I need a couple of moments to resupply the oxygen. So again, sorry. Let's breathe properly. Breathe to. Okay, so can you feel the sound move to your third eye? You can even put your hand on your forehead. Yeah? Yeah, the eyeball, the eyeballs do move. So now we've got one more to add. Now, when you sing really high in your voice, I mean, we're not going to sing that high at the moment. We're just going to use the note that activates the center. We have the crown. And what happens in the crown is all the spaces between your skull and your brain, that walnut surface, you can allow sound to resonate in those. Because just as I said with the guitar, that's a box that can amplify sound. Your lungs are a box that can amplify sound. Your throat is a box that can amplify a sound. The spaces behind your sockets in your nasal passages where sinuses are, they can amplify sound. And the last one is this one on the top of the head, the crown, and it's like our laser beam. It's the energy that opera singers use to fire sound to the back of the gods in an opera house. So now we're going to do 4 notes. So we're going to do F sharp of the chest, G sharp of the throat, A of the third eye, B of the crown, and then back down again. So I'll do it once so that you can hear, and I'll try and activate the crown chakra, and then we'll pause, take breaths, and do it together. Can't even remember to take a breath myself before doing it. So. So you're moving. So don't forget to like this. You might not like it by the end. You wait till we get onto the tongue. It's amazing what you can do with your tongue, won't you? So, people, let's take a breath and let's do this. Do you know what? It is very sexy. You can become so incredibly sexy when you know how to put your voice in the right places, because it's all about what you resonate as to how people perceive the sound you make. So the crown is right in the crown. Now, what you can do when you sing a B is put your hand on the top of your head and ask yourself, can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? On the top of your head, okay? So we're going to take a deep breath and we're going to sing. So deep breath on 4 counts. 1. Okay. You know what? Giraffe spirit came. I know I was trying to extend your neck. He's like, reach up. You can get that crown chakra. It's right up in the trees. So, come on, people. Breathing in. 1, 2, 3. So, can you feel the love tonight? Can you feel the sound move to your crown from your chest? Can you feel it? I don't want to sing that again. Yes, we are aligning ourselves on all of our chakras as we do this. It's a very healing exercise, all of it. Okay, so take your hand off your stomach and just put it on your chest and your thing. If you don't breathe in through your stomach, you won't reach the end of the exercise anyway. So, are you all feeling it via the back of your neck? Remember, it works best when you've got your chin on your chest. You don't have to do that in a performance if you're on stage in a pretty dress or whatever. The point is that you need to learn to stop using these muscles. And a lot of people, when they walk like that. My teacher used to punish me. He used to make me stand against the wall and try and make me push the back of my neck into the wall. And when you do that, you find all the muscles around your lower back and everything get activated. It's something I do quite naturally now. Breath from the stomach will also increase the energy being pulled in your lower back. So you're actually opening your stomach and your lower back when you're breathing in really deeply. So practice breathing deeply, singularly with the stomach, then practice joining stomach out, chest up, and pushing them both back in together. And then practice humming just an F sharp in the chest, adding movement, and then up to the B. F sharp, G sharp, A, B, A, G sharp, F sharp. Now, that's all very well, and we've activated 4 energy chakra points in the body. But now what happens is, as you sing higher and higher, the mind, the untrained ability to sing, coupled with poor vowel shapes in the mouth, means that we just keep allowing our voice to get higher, and there comes a point where it just stops. It won't sing, and it's called the break in your voice. And the break usually comes at B. In most people's voices, it's at B. Hang on, let me just bring you up here. I can't sing this high, but in most female voices, it's that B. And when you go to hit the C that follows, the voice becomes half as powerful. And that's because you're singing only in your girl's voice and not your woman's voice. And for men, you're not allowing the voice to go past its natural break, which is the B. So we're going to learn how to override that. Not fully yet, but we're going to give the principle. So I don't know if I can play them both. So, no, they weren't twitty, because the interesting thing is that most of the best singers, once you move past that B and you start to get into an area of the voice that's known as the passaggio, the passageway, before it goes into true head voice, it's the point in the voice that has the most sort of tension within it, because you split your voice into two spaces, and so it begins to sound more soulful and it has more edge. So a lot of the time they deliberately write songs that are in difficult places. The other thing which bad songwriters and particularly bad wordsmiths do is they don't understand the power of the vowels. And vowels are really fascinating. We're going to get to those in a minute. But for the moment, we're just been on 40 minutes just learning how to breathe and sing a few notes. But we'll look at the vowels as well. And then I guess I'll probably have to do more of these to help you all out. So you can put a vowel that's made from a very small space in the mouth, and they're impossible to sing as big notes. And sometimes you can reach the crescendo in a moment and you can get to the climactic note and it's the wrong vowel because the wordsmith didn't understand how to sing. So I want you all to just sing this once more. So we're going to breathe in, 3, 4, breathe 1. Okay, now here's the override. I want you to imagine that instead of the voice going, I want you to imagine that it actually goes chest, solar plexus, sacral, and then I want you to push that B at the top of your head. I want you to press that right the way down into the floor. Let me show you the difference. I'll do it the normal way the first time, and then the second time, I'll do it thinking the other way. So this is the normal way. Now I'm going to go down with it. I ran out of breath. There's not enough oxygen to do it quickly up here. But the whole point is, when you override the natural belief that the voice has to go up, it still goes up, but now it goes down as well. And so the voice widens and the back of your mouth becomes a much bigger dome. And the more space at the back of your mouth, which is why we pull the tongue down, it creates a big dome at the back for the sound to turn around and for it to go. So together, let's push the sound down. Breathing in, 3, 4, breathe, 2, 3, 4. For flat piano. So again, pushing the sound down into your big old girl bones. Everyone together. Breathing, 2, 3, 4. feel the voice go down? Can you feel the voice stretch and thicken? Yeah, it's a body sound chamber. All parts of your body have got spaces in them where you can resonate frequencies because it's a natural thing. Energies move around the body. I guess I'm going to have to link in another article that explains all of this stuff. Yes, it does work. It really does work. So that's the first part, finding your voice. Now we have to learn to overrule our bad speaking habits. So when I first went to the Royal College of Music, I had a London estuary accent. Actually, I had a Chathamese accent, which was, you can't talk a lot like that and you don't say things properly because you don't open your mouth and you say everything's got like letters missing. And so when I first went to Junior Guildhall, first of all, and there she used to make me read out Bible passages to correct the way I spoke. And then when I was at the Royal College of Music, we had a speech teacher, and she was called Yvonne Darling, and she was so old that she taught my teacher when he went. But she had recordings of Edwardian women speaking who were her aunties, and she said they never said Edwardian or the name Edward. It was Edward and the Edwardian period, and Gills and Hayes. So it was all about how their phonetics were different. And she was such a monster that she would say to anybody with a northern accent, you can't talk like that when you walk on stage to introduce your song. So they would all go, why not? It's my identity. She's like, you just can't. I'm sorry, darling. You have to speak properly. Properly. Anyway, so to sing, one uses the 5 Italian vowel sounds. So why do we do this? Because A, E, I, O, and U are the 5 cleanest vowels that you can make within your mouth. And most other vowels are combinations of either 2 of those as a diphthong, so moving between one energy to another, or they're made from holding the mouth in the position of one vowel and bending the sound inside to create a secondary vowel, which gives the shape to what you recognize as a tongue. So quite often we read a word, like for instance, if you read the word love, it's L-O-V-E, okay? It's L-O-V-E. Yet French, it's the same. Even in French, you use the Italian vowel sounds, and sometimes you have to push certain additional nasal qualities on, but truly, the 5 Italian sounds are, so yeah, E is difficult to sing high, but there are tricks. There's ways to do it. So you have to learn to do these sounds because they're clean and they will sing out properly. So I was saying something else then, but I got lost in your comments. I'm lost in music. So here we have what we would consider the 3 Italian vowel sounds that are created by the use of the tongue. Okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to open your mouth the width of 2 fingers. Okay? So, nice and wide. Sorry, I was just looking at someone that was been removed by bridge. I just wondered what they might have said, but I'm not going to worry about it for now. I'm not going to worry about it at all. So, put this now in your mouth. Oh, look, there's a drawing of a mouth. I want you to have a look at this very closely. Your neck, your mouth, your nose, and your big, old, wide, open mouth with 2 fingers in and your teeth. Okay? So the tongue, as before, is in the bottom of the mouth. Okay? Ah, 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 ah. Your tongue comes up. Ah, 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 ah. And send the sound back. So, do you know the thing, Bridge? I don't care anymore. I was thinking the other day, do you know what? Even if people say rude things, I don't care. I could almost feel like I want to leave them up sometimes, but just remove anything you're not happy with, and I'm not got a problem with it at all. It's just a brief moment where I was like, I wonder what they said. I'll look later. So, ah, 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 ah. I hope you're all doing that. Now, that's the letter A in Italian. Ah, ah. Okay. So now we're going to keep, you might want to get a mirror here because you are going to do something now and you're not going to believe you're doing it. You're not going to be aware you're doing it unless you watch yourself. Okay. So, ah, ah, ah. So, ah, 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 ah. There's a bit of cheek in it. Ah, ah, ah. So now, you need to do this with your fingers because what you're going to do is we're going to go ah, eh, ah, eh, ah, eh, ah, eh. And can you see just my tongue is moving? But what you're all going to do is you're all going to go ah, eh, ah, eh, ah, eh. You're going to move your lips because we can't help it. We haven't disciplined our mouth and lips and tongue enough. Take me into the loo. Take me into the loo where the mirror is. So, ah, eh, ah, eh, ah, eh, ah, eh, ah, eh. So look, on this chart, resonates, the vowel center of the word is down here. Ah, eh, ah, eh. And the tongue is going, whoops, ah, eh, ah, eh, ah, eh, ah, eh, ah, eh, ah, eh. But your dogs are thinking you're really nuts now. Now, we've got okay? Now, we need to add the really hard one, which is E, the letter I, double E, okay? So, E, E, and it's coming out of the nose, and it's coming out of this area behind your teeth here. But I didn't go, E. I didn't move my lips. E, E, E. And when an E is formed in this way, although it resonates just here, you can sustain a stronger E than when you squeeze your teeth together and move your mouth. So we're now going to do, just to play with your tongues a little bit more, we're going to go So can you all do that for me? I'm listening. So So that's tongue movements to make the sounds. So before we move on, let's take in the chest, and I want you to go. And you will find your lips will begin to open to sustain the same volume. If you don't move your lips, the sound will drop. So you'll get this. So it just thins out a bit. So by going in as if you're gonna ooh, you'll get a little bit more strength to maintain the sound, because E is a thinner sound. So you almost, you just, you get a little bit, and you feel it here, and it will keep the sound flowing in the same frequency. No, I've lost the word for volume. So together, R, E, sung. 1, 2, 3, yeah. It's a blow up doll mouth. Angel, why do you know that? Oh, okay, right. The reason people go flat when they sing is because we retuned officially to A440, and A440 doesn't actually resonate inside the physical flesh of the body. It doesn't work with the natural acoustic mathematics of the world. So if we detune to A432, then everything locks into the body. So my one thing that I always used to say to all performers live was that they weren't allowed even a whiff of alcohol, because alcohol will immediately connect your consciousness more physically to the body, and then just the whole of their gig would be flat. So it's really hard to maintain singing slightly sharp from what your body wishes you to do. So when I do sound healings, I do flatten the sound a lot. Wassail Beautiful. So we're learning how to sing Najib today. We're learning how to get our voices more inside our resonators, like your chest's the body of your cello, just so that you know. So we're going to sustain these three notes together, R, E. And remember, you're not allowed to move your lips. R, E. Okay? So we're using the F sharp of the chest. So taking a deep breath, stomach, chest. You got to remember everything. Ready? So breathing in. 1, 2, 3, 4. How was that for people? It's beautiful for me. I loved it. That one's pulling on my neck slightly. So, kind of sounds like a scene from The Sopranos. So, we've done R, E, R, E. Now, we're going to do the lip ones. So, return to R, 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 R. I mean, I didn't get to do air. What do you mean? Air, air. That's why it sounds like The Sopranos. So, with the two fingers, people. Open your mouths properly. So, now, the tongue is not going to move this time. The tongue stays exactly where it is. Remember, it's touching the teeth. It's on the base of the jaw, and you're pulling the back of your tongue down as far as you can go, as if you're yawning. Okay? And no movement, just your lips. Just your lips. And I want you to, as you're doing this, everyone look in the mirror and tell yourself you're gorgeous. Okay. You should move your mouth now, but only on the lips ones. Okay, so you can't. My moustache is slightly in the way. Okay. Listen, I've seen so many really famous people doing these exercises. So, The next one is the harder one, because what I want you to see is oh. This one's moving to the very back. This is the richest. This is why loads of northern British people sing well, because they have flattened vowels that move to the back of the voice box. So monsieur, So you're getting the you're getting the celebrity lesson. Also, you should always remember to drink when you're singing. So now comes the tricky one. Ooh. Now, ooh is really difficult because people say ooh, and it doesn't work. And ooh is a really complicated sound in that you need to feel the energy of the at the back of your throat, and you need to connect it to a disembodied owl that is singing just in front of your mouth. So you're going ooh, ooh. Think of who. Ooh, not you do look lovely this evening. It's much more ooh, ooh. So, together, here we go. Ooh. You've got to be sexy, because the sexiness will connect it to the right parts of your body. Come on, everybody. Sexy voices. Ooh. Not ooh. 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 And we're playful because it will help you to find the right space. Ooh. Okay, so now we have to do it at speed. Can you do that, please, everybody? Oh, yeah, it does hurt. It does hurt when you suddenly know how to say you, rather than you, oh, you, or you, or you. Okay. So, okay, so we've got that down pat. Now, I feel like I need one more card that I'm going to have to write for you all now, because this is where your brain will now melt. So let me just write this and then we'll do it. Oh, I've written it wrong. See, it's so long since I've done this. Right, I'll just get a green pen and write the letters next to it to help you. So, A-E-I-O-U in Italian is A-E-I-O-U. A-E-I-O-U. So we're doing A, tongue, E, tongue, E, and then suddenly, from that one, you've got to switch your tongue back down to the A, but you've got to move your lips as well. So this is a double move. A, E, I-O-U. A, I-O-U. A-E-I-O-U. 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 How's that? E, O, U. E, O, U. Are you all managing? E, O, U. So someone just said they're off because it's late. I was reading, but good night. Oh, Laura, good night. E, O, U. E, O, U. Now, just to really play on yourselves, I want you to go E, O, U, E, A. I want you to go E, O, U, E, A. So we're doing them backwards and forwards. Well, forwards and backwards. E, O, U, E, A. E, O, U, E, A. E, O, U, E, A. Tongue will be a rebel for ages. Okay, so now we're going to do a little exercise that's called Scat. Sound sculpting. Okay, so yes, Penelope's always very good at reminding me that I never ask anybody to make contributions. So if you can afford to send me a contribution to help me on my journey, then my PayPal is PayPal me at Rustling Around. And thank you for Penelope for always reminding me. Oh, look, Bridge was reminding me as well. So we're going to do sound sculpting. So for this, I'm going to do a different card, and we're going to work out how you work from certain sounds to another sound to another sound. Because remember at the beginning, I said there was this washing line of vowels, and all of the consonants, we'll look at consonants another day. Consonants are pegged on the vowels. So we're going to do, I'm going to put the second one in a different color. We're going to sing me with an M. So that's the E, me, oo. Me, oo. Me, oo. So I want you to all practice that. Let's put this up as well. We're going me, oo, and splitting from the R into two directions. So we're going to just together, me, but if you do me, it's thin. Me, and we're going to move up. Me, and you need to, as you go up, you need to go up and down. I will teach how to do harmonics as well. Do the whole thing, not in one day though. So, me, oo, and we're going to go. Me, but not, remember, me, then breath. Me, 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 don't want to take too high because that's when your break will come in. And we have to learn so many more techniques about lifting your passaggio and all kinds of other crazy stuff before we start showing off in the high range. So let's go. You've done speech therapy, and this reminds you of that. It's very good for the throat. It's really good for the throat, Angela. It's good for the whole energy frequency. It retunes all of your chakras and things. So we're going to go me, okay? So together, taking a deep breath for 1, 2, 3, 4. Me. wrong buttons. Go back. We've got to get this right so that you can rewind and play it. So together. Meow, 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 meow. Sorry, I've got a cough from the oxygen. Also, I was reading your comment. We're going to do this one again. The reason it gets softer is because you've got to keep thinking that the voice goes down the body, because the natural tendency is it wants to rise higher and higher and higher. And we're going chest, G shoulders, G sharp throat, A third eye, nervous system, and then B top of the head. So you've got to keep thinking meow. It will go up, but you think about it going down, and then you'll see that you get a split frequency and it's thicker. Let's get this right this time. That was terrible. I've not done these exercises myself for about 5 years because I can just sing. Right, here we go. Sensible, everybody. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Meow. Meow, 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 meow. One more. Meow. Now that one you have to do something different with, but we're not going to go there. If it came out quite naturally, that's because you were earthing it into your body. So that's a little beginning sound of how you can learn to sing. Ah, oh, ooh, oh. Ah, oh, ooh, oh. Ah, oh, ooh, oh. Ah, I, ah, I, ah, I. Practice those sounds. Practice humming in the chest. Do you know, I just want to say, Angela, the real great difficulty with Aum is it's a really complicated diphthong. And so I don't want anyone else to do it just because Angela can. I want you to clean up the sounds, because Aum is a very magical frequency, and it's a tone that transforms with harmonic frequencies on the edge. And so quite often when people want to do Aum, it frustrates them because they can't find those edges. So it's great that you can do it, because it is a very difficult sound. There's a video somewhere on my list from a very long time ago where I do the Aum with all the harmonic frequencies around the edge. So F sharp in your chest, humming. G sharp in the throat. A resonating behind your eyes and in your nose. B on the top of your head in the crown. And we do the practice of that melody. To remind ourselves that the sound naturally moves between these resonators. Then we do the sound again and we push the sound down. I will teach you how to do Aum, but not yet. It's too difficult. First of all, we have to clean up our voices before we get clever with them. So, singing that sound again down the body. Ready? Breathing in, 2, 3, 4. enough oxygen in this room because I'm so far up a mountain. I can usually sing for ages. I can't do that here. So, any questions, please, beautiful people? Sorry, there was a noise outside. I'm going to be doing a live very shortly. I'm doing a live now, but I'm going to be doing a live very shortly with Reem, and we're going to be looking at the subject of synchronicities and astral cleaning in a little bit more detail that we don't know about yet. Oh no, the reason you're yawning is the passaggio. So at the back of the mouth, there's a little thing that hangs down that's called the uvula. And the uvula is a tiny, often people think it's the tonsils, but the tonsils are either side of the mouth. And the uvula, when you yawn, when you go, oh, the uvula goes up into the air and it completely inverts into a triangle. And then it comes back down. Now, when we sing, as we get higher, the uvula will begin to lift. And when it lifts, it makes you yawn. So one of the things you can do when you yawn is you can try and, at the back of your mouth and stretching in that way in which we did with that exercise, you can go, oh, and drop down. Every time you yawn, get used to lifting the passaggio and feeling the passaggio go really high up, the uvula, sorry, to access the passaggio point part of the voice. Yes, it will resonate more, Najib. I wanted to show you those because I feel that it's something your music will benefit from. So you can look at this video. So the uvula has to go up in the air, and you can practice lifting your uvula. There's a couple of ways you can practice yawning, because I don't think I can show you my uvula because of the lighting, but you know, the uvula lifts so far up, it vanishes and it becomes a complete triangle when it's up in the air. And you need to strengthen that because when we get higher, we have to lift the uvula so that we can access the upper cavity spaces around our brain to sing really, really high notes. So I can show you an example. So you can have if I don't lift my uvula, that E flat at the top becomes really quite ugly. I will look at the question in a minute, sorry. This is probably a silly question, but no, it doesn't make any difference. You're not tone deaf. All that your difficulty is because music has been tuned to A440. When you, if I teach a load of kids to sing, lots of the times when you play things, some kids will sing as if they're tone deaf. But what it means is they're just singing in a different pitch. They're singing like a fifth above or a fourth above, and they're not aware of it because they're not used to feeling the energy. But when you detune to 432, every single child will sing in tune. And so this notion of being tone deaf is just a lack of familiarity with pitch. We're all frequency and we can all sing. And it's just about teaching ourselves clean Italian vowel shapes so that we can sustain the washing line of vowels. So for instance, if you think of certain sounds, I didn't get that far, but so that's what I was starting to tell you earlier and someone distracted me. It was the word love. If you think of the word love, it's Love. And yet when we sing it, we sing an R and then we turn it into love at the very end. So we sustain an R. So we sing, I love you. And it's an R, but when I turn it to V, you hear the word love. But I didn't sing the word love, I sang love. So it's about teaching ourselves, because if you sing, I love you, love, that's not a good sound. So we clean up the vowels, and the hearer the listener of you when you're singing, they don't hear the changes that you've made. They just hear a more beautiful, sustained sound. So sometimes you also have things which are diphthongs. So for instance, the word night is I-E, I-E. But you don't, a lot of people, particularly famously, Shirley Bassey, she moves the diphthong to the second part of the vowel. Immediately she'll sing night, night. But you should actually sing night and change it at the end. So you're sustaining the washing line of vowels, and the consonants are just the pegs that you put on it. But the washing line changes shape and frequency as you move through different vowels. So let me just go back to the exercise, just to show you the stretching of the passaggio so that you understand it. That's when I let the voice naturally go up. I'm now going to put my mouth in an O shape, and I'm going to sing an R through it, but I'm going to make it sound a bit like orange to give the top note its kind of scaffolding and space in which to resonate. So the bad way again. The good way. So I'm making a different structural shape within my mouth. I'm twisting the vowel inside it to be kind of a fraction of two vowels, and that sustains a better, stronger voice as you go higher. But we can deal with that another day. I think Najib's got a license for everything. He's an ambassador to the government in terms of music and cello playing. So I think he has a license to thrill with his uvula. Any other questions, please? There's a really weird dog outside making a really Yes, your heart rate will be affected, partly because of the oxygen you're bringing in, but also because you're resonating and your body is excited by the sustained sounds. What's really interesting is that when you get a whole group of people to sing together, all their heart rates match. So everybody singing in choirs, the rhythms of their body begin to join together and create harmony. So, any more beautiful questions? One card, Twitty, you're so bad. I don't know what a card would be about, Twitty, and I'm going to do another reading in a minute. I'm doing two more today. I'm doing two more lives, so keep your eyes open. I'm doing one with Reem, and then after that, I'm doing it's uvula. I know it's got similar letters in if you move them around for something else. Right, look, there's your card, flow. Flow with vowels. The washing line of vowels is the emotional structure on which all melody and true voice is formed. You know, even now when I'm talking to you, I'm sustaining my voice on a line so that there's a sense of a calm wave that moves through. If I just spoke like this and just let it fall out every time, it has a different energy feeling. Or if I brought it up here and did it in my throat, but still somehow sustained it, it's not as nice. It's about how we position our voice and how we flow with the music of the vowels. And listen to the music of the vowels, or whatever the note is. Too high for me. I don't like to sing too high. I'm a Heldon tenor. I'm meant to be singing songs about Norse gods. Yeah, it has all been about finding flow. It's about finding flow, which is the sustaining of vowels on breath and just pegging consonants on. And we will do consonants because consonants all come in pairs. But this is just a first little glimpse at trying to find our voice. So I hope you all enjoyed yourself, and I'm going to go off, make a little cup of tea, chat to Reem, and then we'll be back with a live. I might change my shirt. So enjoy, people, the practice that you can give yourself to find the beginnings of your voice. Yeah, consonants are fun. They come in pairs, Najib. They're voiced and unvoiced, but I'm not going to go there yet. So, Wassail Beautiful People, I'm just going to have to end the stream, or I'm just going to sit there listening to you all talking. Your tongue will be mad. Touching your tongue with your teeth with practice. It's all good fun. So, Wassail Beautiful People, and I'll see you again very, 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 very shortly, because obviously I'm coming on with Reem. So, bye.